Hello and welcome to Gardening with Ben, your go-to podcast for all things green and growing. I'm Ben, your allotment guide, and here to help you cultivate your garden and your passion for plants. Whether you're a seasoned gardener or just starting out, this podcast is for you. Each episode will dig into tips, tricks and techniques to make your garden and allotment thrive. From planting, sowing and growing, we will share all the tips and advice. We will also have regular episodes talking about what we have been up to on the allotment. So sit back, grab a brew and enjoy today's episode. Hello everyone and welcome back to Gardening with Ben for a brand new episode today. It's later than usual. Usually you're getting it at 8 o'clock in the morning for the last few days. But for the next few days, you'll be getting it in an afternoon, as we're going to be talking about everything that we are getting up to down at the allotment to keep you up to date with what's growing and what's not growing. Well, today I spent a few hours down there. I didn't do a hell of a lot down there, to be honest with you, as it started off looking pretty decent, the weather, and then it absolutely chucked it down. But before we got to the allotment, what we did, we went to the range and we bought some more seeds. Yes, so stay tuned for that. We'll be talking about what seeds we've purchased and hopefully what we're going to be growing, as all these seeds that I've purchased can be grown this month. So we're going to be sharing that, and we'll be sharing the progress of how well they're getting on with growing. And I've also shared a image on Instagram and Facebook today of all the things that you can still sow in July. Some of the things that I purchased aren't on the list, but on the packets it did say that I could sow them this month. So I'm looking forward to sharing that with you. I never usually start sowing stuff at this time of year, so it's something quite new to me as well. So fingers crossed we can get some good crops from it, but we'll be keeping you all up to date with how well the things are growing. Now, one of the main things to do today down at the allotment was to harvest all the rest of my first lot of peas, as the plants were dying off and the peas were no longer growing on them. There's no more flowers on them, so it looks like there's not going to be anything else that grows. So we've been harvesting all them, and we got a big bucket load of peas, and I mean an absolute load of them. I can't believe how many I've actually got off these plants. Like, we've had 4 big pickings off them, so I'm happy with the amount of peas that we have had off. To say how bad the weather has been this year, but obviously the rain has helped the peas swell and grow well, so it swings and roundabouts. Sometimes obviously you want the warm and hot weather to grow stuff, or sometimes you want the rain to help things swell and get plump and fat, which certainly has happened for my peas. So we've had a massive great crop this year, the best pea crop that I've ever had. And one of the things that I am going to be doing is I'm going to be sowing some more peas. Yes, you may think it's July, but we're going to grow some more peas and we're going to see how well they grow and if we're too late or not. So make sure you stay tuned to see how well we get on with them. And one thing about the peas is that when you're getting rid of the plants, like I have done today, you don't pull them out. Do not pull the roots out of the plants. What you need to do is snip them off at the base so that the roots are still in the ground, because all the nutrition goes back into the soil and feeds the soil. That is one thing that I have learned, is that you need to snip them off at the bottom. The same goes for runner beans, any legumes. Snip them off at the bottom of the plant and you will get more nutrition back in the soil, which is what we want. We want to feed the soil so that more stuff can grow in there and keep feeding the plants that are growing in there, to be honest. So that is one thing that I have learned and that I have done down at the allotment. So I'm looking forward to getting a load more peas sown and growing. And when I mean a load, I've bought 3 big packets from the range, and you usually get about 200 to 300 seeds in a pack. So hopefully we're going to have some great peas coming towards the end of summer, beginning of autumn, which will be exciting, as I'm so pleased with the crops. They've tasted absolutely gorgeous, Now, they're not the same crops what I'm going to be growing this time of year. The ones that I grew at the beginning of the year was early onwards peas, and these are Kelvin Wonder pea variety that I am going to be growing. So if you're looking out for some peas, make sure you go to the range and have a look at the dates on the packet, as the packets do usually tell you when the planting season time is for optimal performance. So have a look and see what peas you can grow, and grow along with me and let me know how well you get on with growing the peas. I'm not going to be growing them in the ground to start off with. I'm going to be starting them off in seed trays, as that has worked perfect for me this year. They've all the seeds have germinated. They all grew. I got them to a decent height, decent size, looking healthy, and then I planted them all out in the ground, in the soil, protected them with netting so that no birds, pigeons, rats, mice could get to them and eat them. Obviously, mice and rats can probably still get to them, but it deterred them, and they all survived, and we got a fantastic crop from them. One of our other jobs, what we've done today, is that we've bought a lavender plant. Yes, I have got a few lavender plants on my plot, and as you know, I have taken some cuttings from my lavenders and from my fuchsias, and we've got them in some water here in the flat. Now, I wanted to film a video of cutting it back and planting them in soil. So I'm trying them in soil, I'm trying them in water. We'll see which ones do the best. If you've got an idea which ones will do best, with water or the soil, let me know. Well, it's not soil, it's compost. So the only thing is, we're growing them in compost, they'll dry out pretty fast. So we've got them sat in some water to keep them moist and hopefully get some roots growing from them. Now, I purchased this £3.50 lavender plant from Tesco, and I literally snipped the whole of the plant off. So literally nothing's showing in the soil where the lavender plant is. Hopefully it'll continue to grow and sprout back, but if we lose it, we'll lose it. But I have taken 40 cuttings off this lavender plant, so hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll get absolutely loads more plants growing. Now, I've put all these in soil in the compost. They're in my polytunnel, well watered, and hopefully they'll take root. So we're going to keep an eye out, see which ones do better, the water ones or the compost ones. And if they all do well, then my allotment's going to be absolutely full to busting with lavender. But that's the plan. I want them all down the side of my borders of my plot, so that it's filled with lavender, so that the bees are absolutely loving it, because bees absolutely love lavender. They will come from afar to go on your lavender, and it will smell absolutely gorgeous and divine down there. And obviously you can harvest the lavender as well, which we've never actually done. We've never harvested lavender, so it might be something new what I learn to try next year if we've got some decent sized plants. So yeah, that has been a busy day down at the allotment today. Hope I've also filmed a tour of my plot as well, so I just need to edit that, get it put together, and that will go on our YouTube channel. Also, I have get together a video of my lavender cuttings, what I've done today down at the allotment, putting them into the compost. So make sure you stay tuned for that on my YouTube channel. If you're not following my YouTube channel, go ahead and find it, Gardening with Ben, and subscribe to it. Don't forget to click the bell so that you get notified when new videos go up. We're hoping to get more and more YouTube videos up on my channel, as we're getting a lot of people watching them these days, as well as obviously listening to my podcast. So we'll probably be down at the allotment again tomorrow. Fingers crossed the weather's better than it was today. I won't be able to plant any of my seeds what I purchased, as I need to go and get some compost, and obviously the shop's open later on a Sunday. So we might be planting all our seeds on Monday, which will be exciting. And hopefully we can keep them watered and get them germinated. And obviously we need some warmth to get them growing. But everything is growing so well on my allotment at the moment. I was having a look around today, and my cucumbers starting to grow big. Hopefully we'll have his first harvest of his cucumbers soon, so we'll keep an eye out for that. We've also got a sweet corn growing well. We've got our lettuces ready for harvesting. We need to harvest them because it's coming to the end of how well they're growing. They're starting to look a bit shabby now, but they have got a big head on them, so hopefully we'll get some delicious lettuce from them. We're also doing well with sunflowers. The sunflowers are growing massive. They're growing brilliant. As tomatoes are growing fantastic. Not as tall as what I'd like them, but we will get some tomatoes on them, fingers crossed, because there's lots and lots of flowers on them. So it has been a fantastic day down at the plot today. It's been good to get back to the garden after not being there for 5 days. And if you've not checked out my lily photo, my lily's finally opened on my allotment. We've been waiting weeks and weeks for that to open. So have a check out of that on my Instagram pictures as well. And it looks absolutely gorgeous. I may have to cut out the pollen though, because I don't want to catch myself as I'm walking past and stain myself. But yeah, it's been a fantastic day down at the allotment. Hopefully, like I said, we're going to be down there tomorrow. So make sure you tune in tomorrow and see what we've been up to. If you're not following this podcast, do give it a follow, give it a like, give it a comment, and feel free to share it to your Instagram stories. Until next time, remember, keep smiling, keep shining, and keep gardening with Ben, everyone.
Thank you for joining me on this episode of Gardening with Ben. I hope you have found some useful tips and inspiration for your own gardening and allotment journey. If you have enjoyed today's episode, please make sure to follow and subscribe to the podcast so you never miss a new episode. And if you have a moment, I'd love for you to leave a review and share the podcast with fellow gardening enthusiasts. Your support helps us grow this community and continue bringing you great content. You can also follow us on social media on every platform called Gardening with Ben for daily gardening tips and updates. Happy gardening, and until next time, remember, keep smiling, keep shining, and keep gardening with Ben.